Prime Minister Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris's change-making Team Unity administration, its robust diplomatic outreach and reforms to the Citizenship by Investment program are bringing some good news.
The good news is that which has been quoted in the Nomad Passport Index for 2017. That news says that our passport is now ranked number 1 in the OECS, number 2 in CARICOM, behind Bahamas, and number 50 in the world of 199 countries and territories which were assessed. What a long way we have come since the Douglas administration caused our passports to be assailed because it removed the country of birth field. FinCEN asserted that this major policy breach allowed our passport to get in the hands of illicit actors.
While we lost visa-free access to Canada in 2014, and we are working assiduously to enjoin and engage with the Canadian government on that score, I want to tell you that we have not been resting. And what we have said is that Canada is an important country, but it is but one country, and we must engage with the rest of the world as well.
At the beginning, we had a number of questions. I think working with the St. Kitts and Nevis government, we have been able to tighten up the controls on the program. I think there is a lot of changes that have been made for the good. We are working with St. Kitts and Nevis to look at how we can work with the Department of Treasury on the FinCEN advisory. I'm not sure that the advisory will go away, but what we're hoping is that they will be able to refine it and make it less restrictive.
The methodology used in this most recent passport ranking considered, among other factors, visa-free travel, which they accorded a high score of 50%, taxation policy, issues to do with freedom, the facility with which persons can have more than one citizenship, among others. St. Kitts and Nevis now have the 6th strongest passport in the hemisphere and the 4th in Latin America and the Caribbean. You would recall that the discredited pass regime was forced on December 10, 2014, to recall St. Kitts and Nevis passports issued prior to July 2014, which did not show the place of birth of persons to whom the passport were issued. The recall and replacement were originally to run over a short window, December 10 to 31st of December 2014. Public outcry led to the deadline being extended to March the 31st, 2015. Subsequently, there had been further extensions to that particular time frame. Based on records provided by the Canadian banknote, some 15,197 regular passports, 91 diplomatic, and 39 official passports were issued by the last government without the country of birth field. My government has taken the decision to deactivate all passports issued by the former government without the country of birth field. All such holders will have to reapply for a new passport which will contain the relevant country of birth field, and they will pay the cost of the new passport. This, of course, is an imperative to safeguard the integrity of our passport, to comply with international best practices, and to satisfy our commitment to being a responsible member of the international community. I would want to remind citizens that to avoid inconveniences in their travel, they should ensure that their passport has some validity for at least 6 months before they make arrangements for travel. It was policy actions like the removal of the country of birth or origin field by the former administration that made our passport and to some extent our country somewhat of a pariah. Specific initiatives of my government, such as increasing our diplomatic footprint and the number of countries with which we now have visa-free entry, have helped.
We have also, as part and parcel of our effort, sought to make it easier for our people to travel. Our people to travel to distant lands and for people from distant lands to come and visit with us. We have therefore set about negotiating what we call visa waiver arrangements. And these are reciprocal. We allow them to come here and they allow us to visit them as well without a visa. What this means is that when you show up with your Kitts and Nevis passport at the border, you present your passport and you are allowed into those foreign countries without let or hindrance. You don't need to send your passport anywhere with any picture and any money to get a visa. You don't need to travel anywhere to any embassy to get a visa. And so we have set about negotiating these arrangements, and so far I'm pleased to say that since this Team Unity administration took office, we can now travel with a Kitts and Nevis passport visa-free to Kosovo, Ukraine, the Maldives, Indonesia, Seychelles, Bolivia, and Brazil. I'm also to report, ladies and gentlemen, that Paraguay, the United Arab Emirates, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Ethiopia, Kuwait, and Brunei have all indicated their willingness and readiness to enter into visa waiver arrangements with us. Our goal and objective as a government is to ensure that that passport that you have which says St. Christopher and Nevis becomes the most powerful passport in the entire Caribbean region. And we achieve ranking in terms of passport by the number of countries that allow passport holders to access their borders without a visa. And so, I know some of you have said, well, why do I need visa-free access to Kosovo, or to the Maldives, or Indonesia, or Brazil? And I say to you that each and every country is important, and we do not know where we or our children might end up. It is this government's objective and purpose and intent to ensure that our people can travel the globe freely. And we will continue along this path because we think it is a good path upon which we have embarked. And so I want you to understand that when we make announcements of this nature, it is not necessarily counting how many people do we get from Senegal in a day or a year. We are building the relationships to ensure that generations of Kittitians and Nevisians can have that kind of access. And I tell you that one of the important lessons from this engagement is that countries only allow you to access their borders visa-free when they have confidence in you. And so what we have been doing is systematically rebuilding the confidence of the world in the state of St. Christopher and Nevis.
It is amazing that in 2 years, international confidence in our passport is now at an all-time high. The international acclaim of St. Kitts and Nevis as a tourist destination, as well as our exceptionally high ranking among the most dynamic countries investing in ICTs, our fiscal surpluses and tax-free budgets have no doubt also impacted positively on the perception of our beloved country. So too have our competitive tax policy, the high level of democratic freedoms, including press freedoms, enjoyed here, and the enhanced reputation of our country attributed inter alia to the platinum status of our reorganized CBI program, resulting in our prestigious standing.